All right, we're live, we're online, and stuff is about to happen, and things are about to get weird and intense. Hello, and welcome to Australian Transformers Weekly. We are your first choice for Australian Transformers news. We might be your only choice. We haven't confirmed yet. This is episode 115. We are recording live on 14th of July, 2017. I'm Jason. Joining me tonight, we have Brad and Mikey. How you doing, guys?
Good.
Evening.
Yeah, well, yeah, night. Except I'm not going to sleep.
Yeah.
Am I going to sleep?
If you keep that up for a while, I will be. We do record these episodes on a Friday night. If the show goes a little bit long, or sometimes starts a little bit late, as we have with this one, we do sometimes get treated to the sound of Brad falling asleep.
That has not happened for a long time, and I blame you two for talking about Spider-Man for 40 minutes before we started.
I know, but
that was good.
Bloody awesome.
Yes, definitely recommend that movie because that's probably I'm just gonna say this quickly. All the superhero movies this year have been spot on. There's not been, and I'm not counting Transformers as a superhero movie because it's not. But I can't name a superhero movie that's got it wrong this year. So,
question.
There you go. Answer.
Those that want more comic-based stories in the Transformers movies.
You both shit out of luck.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Closest thing you've got is what is it? Combiner Wars, and we definitely recommend
I'm just saying. You've both seen Logan.
Yes.
Could you have handled a Venom T-Rex in that?
A what?
Yeah, please explain.
Let's move on.
Brad just realised we have no idea what he's talking about.
Okay, wait.
Those that have read the comics will know there's a Venom T-Rex in Old Man Logan. Anyway, let's go. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Right. So Logan is not a 100% adaptation of Old Man Logan.
No.
No, just saying people want more comic stuff in their movies, and sometimes the comics can stay as comics.
Yeah, but come on, comics have got such goofy crap in it all the time.
It's okay. We know you don't like comics. It's fine.
He likes picking on the crap side of them. He never likes looking on the good side of them.
I'll take my cheap shots wherever I can find them.
Yeah, no, that's why you end up getting them right back at you.
Yeah, exactly. Without comics, there wouldn't be Transformers.
Absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the absolute inception of Transformers. Where did Transformers start?
Well, toys, but then comics, then toys.
In terms of
Cybertron.
In terms of media, and consumed media, where did Transformers start?
Comics. Marvel.
Yeah. There's Marvel has their fingers in a lot of things, don't they?
Spider-Man.
Everything.
No, he actually took down Megatron, I think, or at least he fought with the Decepticons in like one of the first 5 issues, which was amazing.
Yeah, and it was black suit Spider-Man as well.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Last question before we move on. The Star Wars references or hits in Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see them as nostalgic or advertising for what's coming?
I don't give a shit. It was funny.
It was good. I did notice at the end credits just like Star Wars property owned by Disney or whatever.
And guess what? We got one coming out in 4 months' time.
I heard, although you know what was funny? Whenever Ned drops the Death Star, I heard like just a couple of nerds going, "Oh, it's so expensive." Yeah. There's so many good things about that movie though. But yeah, no. So Star Wars references. Star Wars is in that universe. So whoop.
Auction King's done it first.
So Star Wars exists in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and why shouldn't it?
It should exist in every universe. It's
but like, why shouldn't people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe go to the cinema to watch Star Wars?
What else are they going to see? Transformers.
Star Trek.
So actually, just like we are in the weeds, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe and like Marvel themselves break their own fourth wall quite a lot. Like, back in the early days of the comics, they would often show scenes in their comics of the publishers and the writers and the artists discussing making the comic.
That is
so yeah, like I hope we don't get to that point in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but like, bear in mind that there's at least 3 blockbuster movies a year that people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe don't see.
Yeah, But to bring it back to Transformers, the Star Trek universe doesn't exist in Transformers.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. Otherwise, everyone would have heard Sentinel Prime walking around talking as Spock and going,
No,
"Why does he sound like Spock?"
In Dark of the Moon, they clearly
God.
showed an episode of Star Trek on the TV.
I know, it makes it even worse.
But then it does exist.
No, it makes you wrong.
Yeah. They even referenced it. You said this is the one where Spock goes crazy. So not only did you saw it on TV, you heard someone mention a character. They did that solely for the purpose because, Leonard Nimoy was in it, RIP. But
I went into that wrong.
you did.
Yes,
you
yes,
really
you
did.
did.
My bad.
This whole conversation might get edited out.
Transformers exist in the
That's going
TMNT universe as well. So there you go.
It's going straight to the app crowd.
True. Transformers do exist in the Ninja Turtles. Wait, was it Ninja Turtles? Yes, Ninja Turtles universe, and also the Power Rangers universe.
Yeah, I was going to say so.
That's right. I need to watch that. I heard about that though.
No,
anyway, Transformers.
Well, Transformers exist in the Power Rangers too, because he called out Bumblebee. Yeah,
that's literally. I just said that.
You said Turtles.
No, Mikey said Turtles, and there was this whole other point where I said Power Rangers that you've forgotten.
Yeah, okay.
You may have fallen asleep.
No, I'm just getting it back from production. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
I'm being told I'm right. Yes.
This just in. I'm talking to myself.
Took you back to work week.
Yes.
Let's get underway, shall we? Take you back to work day. There is a competition that goes on every week in the Facebook discussion group for TCCA. It's not, you don't necessarily have to have a workplace. You can just take your bot out of the shelf, out from behind glass, and get them out in the real world and take a photograph of them. So this week's winner is Rob Kindleyside, who made possibly the best use of a McDonald's transformer that I've ever seen, although I must deduct a point for not actually being at McDonald's.
Oh, come on. I honestly think this guy deserves some kind of prize, because that is top quality humor there. I love that.
Look, I gotta say, if I actually ordered a burger and chips and I got that, I'd be pretty annoyed.
It is pretty small. One thing I've noticed from Comic-Con a couple of weeks ago, Supernova, and I was Desicon the time before that, the nostalgic pull of the McDonald's Transformers is almost more than G1. Like everyone knows what they are.
What?
And everyone gets it.
I was watching a video, and they were talking about nostalgic toys, and in place of the actual Transformers, they had these things. I'm just like, okay. So this has obviously reached a lot of people. I've never owned one. They're quite nifty little things.
I've also never owned one.
No. I mean, I think they were before my time. So, but I think these are McDonald's things, because that's a Big Mac right there, isn't it?
It is definitely McDonald's transformer.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe they should bring it back. Although I fear if they bring it back, they'll bring it back as they'll only be in robot mode.
I don't know how you'd make a McWrap.
Well, a snake. Can I throw it into a snake box?
So McDonald's does still do promotional tie-ins with Transformers. Like I've gotten Transformers RID figures from there. They didn't transform, but I think they also did
even the first movie. The first movie
also did Transformers animated, and I think they did some Transformers Prime stuff.
Okay, animated they did Transform. I remember those. Those were actually nifty. The Optimus Prime really was the best of them.
Yeah.
I've got some prototypes here from animated, actually. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Big spender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the last time that any fast food toy that's based on the Transformers transformed was animated.
Yeah, they didn't after that.
The best ones, I think, were the Beast Wars one way back, because the Beast Wars McDonald's toys were actually their own characters, which was really a cool idea, which they haven't. I mean, these things are their own characters, I guess. But are these under the Transformers license?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Do they have names?
But it's I don't know if they got names, but their bot modes are weird and wonderful, like the the scrambled egg.
I think I remember seeing the scrambled egg one.
Yeah, it turns into a plesiosaur. Like it's what?
Yeah. The dinosaur. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then one of they had two milk or two cups. One of them turned into a dinosaur, and the other one just turned into a straight up robot. So
So the snow the little soft serve cones do the same thing. You got a
yeah,
dinosaur version. And it's just
robot.
yeah, it's weird. It's
And they
weird.
were cool. They're very cool. They're just
Yeah.
they're fun. If they were life size, that'd be better. But that's probably a lot of plastic. You know what? KO companies, get those, make them huge.
Upscale.
There you go. And then just have your own. Just have a meal. It's just like this isn't a meal, and then surprise your friends, and then just realize you don't have any. So yeah.
All right, going on from there. Speaking of surprising, this week we got news of yet another reissue of this dude coming out. We are talking about the G1 Predaking, which was reissued as recently as 2 to 3 years ago, I believe. And
yes, you're right.
if you didn't pick him up then here's another chance.
And a couple of years later, there'll be yet another chance because they just love to push this mold.
Maybe it's the only mold that still exists.
I was actually going to say I wonder if this is actually one of the only G1 combiner molds that wasn't like irreparably damaged.
Yeah.
They brought the Seacons back as well, didn't they? But
Yep.
I don't know which other G1 combiners get
Devastator.
reissued.
Oh my god, Devastator has 1,000 reissues.
None recently.
None recently, but he does have at least 5. So and well, some of them are good because some of them are like cartoon colors, and then some of them are just straight up G1. But this is just another issue of Predaking again, and I still have a good old laugh whenever he's in his robot mode and he's got that puny little thing as his sword. It's just like a dinner knife or something. It's not a sword for Predaking. Predaking needs a big old, not as big as the whatever. But that thing, that's just embarrassing.
It is a little it is a little small.
I do love out of all the combiners, he's probably got the most Combiner Wars accurate hands and feet out of them all.
True.
They look like Combiner Wars.
They do actually, with the spikes and stuff on them. Yeah.
So why don't we have one?
Well, this is an interesting thing, isn't it? Everyone sort of was looking at Skylinks and Skyrain as a possible basis for Seacons and Predacons in Combiner Wars. Didn't happen. And we're still getting some Combiner Wars things trickling out. Like Leo Kaiser was, I think, branded as Combiner Wars, wasn't he, on the box?
Yeah, I believe so.
And so you sort of wonder, like, are they gonna bring out Predacons and Dinobots in Power of the Primes?
Yeah.
Rumors,
well, they've said Dinobots definitely, but
they did. Yeah.
Combining? No thanks.
I don't know. It's not the combining aspect of, I guess, I'm going for there. It's just more sort of the beast. The beast aspect and the animals. So yeah, maybe there'll be some Predacons, maybe there'll be some Seacons and some Dinobots.
Maybe Power of the Primes is like a code thing, and it's going to be called Power of the Primitives, huh? And then it could all just be beasts.
Oh God, I hope not.
Maybe.
Why
Predacon's name?
I'm not a Beast Wars fan.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Predaking's name, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, Predaking's name has been brought up, but it was used in Prime, so what it entails, we'll find out next year.
At least that means there's at least a dragon.
So just in terms of jumping around a bit, or maybe not jumping around because this isn't actually on the run sheet, but we have been told that we will be seeing Power of the Primes at San Diego Comic-Con.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
That'll be that is coming up pretty soon.
Okay, cool.
It's got to be next week. A week.
I think it's. I hear people saying, yeah, it's.
Well,
very,
Nerdmania's
very
next week. Yeah, it'd have to be next week.
Nerdmania in Australia.
Yeah. I hear they always time SCCC for Nerdmania. They check with them before.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do they?
It's all part. Yeah. It's all part of nerd syncing.
It is the 20th of July to the 23rd of July, so it is in fact coming up next week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's exactly, pretty much. Nerdmania Australia, isn't it?
Yep, Nerd Syncing.
Yes. Nerdmania is Bendigo, isn't it? Bendigo? No.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Shepard. We'll get to it in the club news.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's well known that Nerdmania is one of the events that STCC uses to time its cadence around the world, make sure that it occurs at the same time.
Perfection.
And Mikey, this is the third year we've attended.
Jesus Christ, it's the third year that it's existed, Mikey.
Was I there?
No.
You're welcome.
No, it's fine. STCC does not time itself for Nerdmania. If anything, Nerdmania probably times itself for STCC.
Well, yeah.
Because the moons and the stars in the sky, I'll be there.
We are doing it. Sorry. I
Oh God, that was terrible, Brad.
Wait, what?
It doesn't matter. I got the joke. Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yes, indeed. Let's move on. Here's the thing, right? I don't own Predaking. I don't own a reissue Predacon set. Do you guys?
No.
I don't know.
Are you gonna buy one?
No.
You haven't bought one yet.
No.
Fair enough.
This is post.
He's cool. He just doesn't interest me that much, to be honest.
It's the worst looking combiner from G1 as far as I'm concerned. It looks horrible.
Christ, you got to be careful. You've got to be careful when you say these things, Brad, because there are many people for whom Predaking represents the ultimate combiner.
Oh yeah.
I'm wearing boxer shorts, so I'm all out. I prefer the others. I don't care about the Predacons.
I kind of agree, but I know that a lot of people love it. But one of the reasons I don't have Predacons is that they're not robots in disguise.
No, it's fine. Cool. Yeah, I don't see the difference between this and anything from Beast Machines or Beast Wars. If you collect this, you love G1, fine. This is Beast Wars, not G1. But anyway.
Wait, what?
I think this is one of the ones that Brad's going to edit out.
I have no idea what he's talking about. I just realized something that we should put in.
What's that red dot? What?
We need you to work some extra hours this week. You got to track down that red dot. Mikey, you're having a run sheet administration moment.
Epiphany.
Speaking of SDCC, did you see the exclusive? Should we talk about it?
Well, I'm not going.
Yes. So. It's actually not in the run sheet, but it's fine. Okay. We can bring it up, and I can do this with a magical.
I just think it's super cool.
Tab.
That's all right. I'll delete the in between bit.
Cool.
What, the one that you're making analysis for yourself?
Purple people, purple polka dot hippo.
What?
All right, ready?
Doesn't matter. Yep, we can go from now. Go.
We can if people shut up.
What the fuck is that?
Okay, so speaking of STCC, there is of course the just announced Revolution toy package, which for some reason includes Jetfire and includes G.I. Joe and ROM and Micronauts action figures, tons of things. So basically anything that is in IDW's Revolution comic books. And this Jetfire has a very different paint job as well. You can see his guns aren't chromed, and they've sort of been given a black and red redeco. He looks pretty good actually.
Yeah.
He does look better with that.
I just think that it's really clever. Oh, I think about 200 USD. What I heard was like 100 USD at the place.
$99.
Yeah, it's 100 there, but then 200 outside of the convention is what I
Fair
heard.
enough.
Yeah.
But I just think it's comes in this cool box. It looks like a comic, and then you get all these different brands put into one thing, and it just looks really cool.
That is a huge box. That's a leader class Jetfire.
Exactly.
And that's only the top third.
Exactly. I just think that's really, really, really cool. And something that
Are those those other figures pre-existing, or have they been made for the convention?
I think Rom
they've-
is.
I think they've been made for the convention because these properties don't actually have anything except comics for them at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think
Mhm.
Rom definitely is, which is cool. The GI Joes would be like repaints of GI Joes. You know, I think pretty much all the human figures are repaints of GI Joes of some sort.
Is that so? That's what I'm actually wondering. So, like it's not the most difficult thing to take a human shaped figure and redo them, but these guys do look pretty specific to their franchise. Like the mask is pretty good. The things that look very similar to me is Lyric. I don't know how to pronounce the names. And
Lyric,
Visionary,
apparently.
Lyric and Rom look very similar.
Yeah. I mean, I think definitely. Well, we definitely know that the Jetfire is not. I think all the Micronaut themes.
I believe
Looks like a
Jetfire.
Harmony Gold.
I think Jetfire is in fact a repaint of the Dire Wraith. If I'm being told I'm right.
You can
It
find it in-
definitely looks like a Harmony Gold creation, but
Oh, there you go. Also,
Yeah.
but like, I'm pretty sure the Micronauts are their own. I mean, an exclusive. They're not.
Actually,
Mate.
can I just posit a question?
Yeah.
Is that the leader class Jetfire?
Yes.
We recognize it as leader class Jetfire, but is it in fact leader class size still, or has it been
Have they
changed?
scaled it down?
Because like,
if it's been scaled down.
Look at the normal sized human figures next to them. They are quite large. Like if that Jetfire is still leader class size, the human figures like the GI Joes, these are enormous.
Oh, there we go. Brad's gonna fall over and get this.
Ow, that hurt. It doesn't matter. I haven't gone for human size.
Good, that's gone well.
Yeah, good to do.
No, I think it is normal. It's just like other.
I suppose,
scale.
judging by the looks of them, they are about the size of Jetfire's leg. So
You know what?
Yeah.
The Micronauts look like a better human scale for
for
for the
Jetfire, yeah.
But
So they're 4-inch, maybe 4-inch figures.
yeah. Oh,
4-inch figures.
something like that.
Aren't they 3.5-inch normally?
You're asking the wrong person here. I don't collect them.
Yeah. Okay.
But I just think this is just a really smart move to just have that type of exclusive. Yeah, that's a cool piece of artwork. Snake Eyes.
There's a lot happening there.
Oh yeah, there's some masked dudes
Who's the artist for that?
Oh, why's Prime there?
and Soundwave's there getting destroyed. I think. And RC might be.
I can see RC as well. Yeah, yeah, that's RC.
RC there.
There.
Where's her head?
Her head's there. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, I see. Okay,
Yeah,
she's doing some
she's
kind of kick or something.
Mhm.
Wow, there's just a lot going on.
That's real-
Whoever
that's
did this,
cool.
congrats.
The
Is there
So
another?
So Jetfire. Yep.
Yeah. So cool. I mean,
Yeah.
the $20 Jetfire you can now get an exclusive.
Actually, that must be where all the $20 Jetfires went.
Yeah, exactly.
they packed them all
They
up.
packed them all up, shipped them up, had the chrome removed,
hmm
and yeah.
There you go.
So,
It's not a bad mold though. So
the Jetfire that we see in the comics at the moment is actually a pretty good representation of that figure too.
And
Yep.
then they actually go through all of the characters next to their toys. I think if you keep going down. So, is that Roadblock?
Yeah.
So
I was going to do this quickly
Looks like
because like they're
Yeah.
not really. Oh, there we go.
Matt Tracker.
Yeah.
What's that? Motorcycle
Action
with a
Man.
helicopter blade on it?
Action Man. I love that.
Greatest
Right,
hero of them all.
So Rom's figure looks maybe a slightly undercooked representation of his comic incarnation, which seems a little bit more heroic.
Rom.
Yeah.
It's like comparing bloody
Like G1 Rom.
Ultron to a Cyberman from Doctor Who.
That thing's terrifying.
So the Dire Wraith. Can I just point out that the head sculpt looks pretty much like that Dinobot Knight that we were looking at last week.
Oh yeah, probably where they got their inspiration. Oh, that's just the red around it's just terrifying. The lips.
Minus the 6 eyes.
Ugh.
Mm.
You want to see how I got these scars?
Yeah, I know exactly.
The
good.
action figure with the most inappropriate representation of facial hair in the 2017 goes to Lyric from Visionaries.
It looks like a moon, like a.
Yeah. It's half a moon. Actually, that's not a moon. It's a space station. But yeah.
Oh, there you go. Oh.
Name's Lando. I'm the
And he gets
administrator
a
of this
big ass whip,
facility.
and then Micronauts.
And so then there's all these tiny Micronauts that are too small to actually make anything out. So
Yeah,
No
paint, yeah.
detail.
Well, come on, Brad. Go ahead. You give them some detail.
Well, there's
Micro.
VTOFs and there's boots and there's gloves. How much detail do you want me to give them? There's a helmet.
don't know. Anyway, this set is $99.95 at SDCC. Pretty good value if you actually are going to SDCC and pick one up.
I wouldn't open it. I just think like opening the door.
This is the great thing about SDCC sets. You never have to actually open them.
Yeah.
And then they just go up in value, and then some of them, and then
call today and get a free T-shirt.
Exactly.
So Jetfire looks like he's just sort of been shoved into the box. See, like
his foot isn't well placed.
His foot isn't well placed. The hands are a bit off. Yeah.
Everyone else has a good.
Well, yeah, his hands not beside him. It's out in front, like
he's trying to bash his way out of the box.
I'm trapped in the ice again. Help me, please.
Starscream.
Yeah, exactly.
Having read the description, I actually wonder if it was a bit of a last-minute decision to put Jetfire in there, because the description says explosions rip across the Earth and all sides blame Optimus Prime and the Cybertronians.
Mm. Where does it say Jetfire in that thing?
It doesn't.
It looks like it references pretty much everyone else. Interesting. But what Prime would they put in there?
Don't know.
Combiner Wars?
Don't know. Don't know. Let's move on.
Prime, Beast Hunters Prime. That'd be perfect for it.
Yeah,
it comes from the master.
Let's move on. I'm assuming that these sets are going to turn up somewhere. They've just been announced. I'm assuming we'll be able to buy them in Australia, like many other Hasbro SDCC figures. So yeah,
Yep.
All right, let's move on. Takara has announced some more Legends figures. There is a Legends Octane. There's a Legends Bumblebee coming along, and let's have a look at some of the photos of them. So Octane comes with a special Ghost Starscream Headmaster,
clever,
which is quite clever. He's apparently a new mold. This isn't the first time we've seen this, I think, is it?
No, I think this is the first time we've seen this.
You might be thinking of the Galvatronus.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that. It's not the same though.
Yeah, fair enough. I kind of feel like these parts on the side of Starscream's head, we've seen those sort of getting longer and longer and longer, like spikes on. So almost like prime-ish spikes, and I think it was the Combiner Wars leader class ones that actually had like the quite long ones, and I think they're on a bit of an angle. So and for such a small character, he's a transparent headmaster, and
looks good.
He's even got a little sneer on his face. So yeah. Pretty good.
No, but it's clever that they included with Octane.
Yes, yeah, it is. You two can have Ghost Starscream now take over any of your Titans Return figures,
which is very clever as well. Again, kudos.
So there we go. So Octane does, of course, come with his normal headmaster as well.
Boo.
Well, whatevs. But yeah. And so there's a bit of a look at how Takara's painted the figure up there.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. I haven't looked too closely at the Hasbro figure to see what the comparisons and the differences are.
I was going to say, anyone got the Hasbro one yet?
This guy looks a lot more white.
Yeah.
I don't have it, but I think this guy looks better. I think the other one's more grey.
Don't forget there's a G2 version as well for Prime.
No, there's several versions of Prime, and then there's one Octane. I think this is the best looking Octane, and then that head sculpt. I love that.
The actual Octane head sculpt is much better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. And there's the little Starscream headmaster in his oh, so you get his weapon as well.
He's like flying him around.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
So there's also Slugslinger with a very, very vivid blue paint job.
Oh, that head
Takara
sculpt as
Legends
well.
figure.
Okay, better.
That Titan, not Titan Master.
That's a target.
Target Master, yeah.
Mhm.
That's got some nice detail on it.
Mm-hmm.
Until you see that. And that. Wait. That's a lot different to the Slug Center I've seen in Melbourne.
Yeah, because it's
Slow.
Takara.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it also has a different head, and the head I love the curviness of it. Kind of looks like Megatron.
Buckethead.
Yeah, a little bit. I can see how you get there. But I mean, in terms of the actual mold, like it does look like the figure that you saw in Melbourne. It's just because the color is so much more vivid blue. So there's that guy. Takara's finally getting around to releasing the Hasbro Legends scale Bumblebee, and this one comes with an exosuit Spike.
Box head.
Who turns into what's the headmaster he turns into? Does that look like?
I think that's Fort Max. I mean, what's his name? Cerebros.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because their Fort Max is a bit different. I'm pretty sure. I mean, so there's. I don't know. The Titan Master that came with him is a bit different. It has a molded mouth.
Is there a close up of the head of the robot mode of that?
I don't know.
It looks
no one's paying attention to the Bumblebee behind him, but that's okay.
No, it's just Bumblebee.
It looked like Whistler's Muffler from the Bean Disaster movie.
Very obscure reference.
In robot mode?
Yeah, I just seen it. No, the Titan Master in robot mode. Anyway.
And lastly, we've got Perceptor as well.
With ram horn.
Yeah, so Perceptor comes with ram horn because Takara packages extra figures up with their deluxes. Just raises the price point on them a little bit, but also makes them slightly. They don't release the little guys on their own.
No.
And so Perceptor comes with ram horn, and there's a headmaster there as well, and slightly more G1 colors, I think, on Perceptor from Takara there.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's a pretty nice looking ram horn.
Yeah,
that does look good.
That's a very good
ram
horn.
And back to Octane there. So Takara's Homies Legends figures. These guys are coming out. I think these are at the end of the year. That's like November, December kind of thing. Looking forward to seeing them. Also, I didn't actually realize with this photo, but Octane's headmaster is in fact in this image.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's
under the foot. I didn't realize when I first looked at it.
I didn't for the first. When I first looked at it, I'm just like, why is his foot weird? And then I just realized, there's a face there as well. Okay.
Yeah.
I seen the head there, but didn't even think it was his. I thought it was Galvatron or something.
No, because it's
Octane always did look a little bit like Galvatron, right?
Yeah. His head, at least, yeah.
That was just a one-off look at it, but yeah. That's nice. It's a nice color. It's good they're going for the.
It's definitely way better than the one we're getting. But isn't it always?
Let's move on. X Transbots has announced Masterpiece style Stunticons. I'm just gonna completely lose my browser window there. So we've got close-up images of two of them. We've got Flip Up, that's their version of Wild Rider, and Crack Up, which is their version of Breakdown. So there are CG renders here, and there's prototype shots as well. So don't be too fooled by how beautiful some of these shots look, because they are the CG renders. And there's the prototype. So just be aware that you're going from that to that.
I think the prototype looks better.
Well, the prototype
is... car, I don't know.
See
the car, if you're getting a little more. Is that in that picture, or is they show the top of it?
You mean that? So yes, you can see the car there.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah. It's nice looking.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty nice looking. So these guys are coming out at, what did we say they were before the show? They're like $50 or something.
Yeah, $45, which is
is that US dollars or American?
No, that's AU. I found it on some retailers for $45. Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, value for money. I think you're getting it.
We
So-
did discuss though that they're a lot more simplified than what you'd
Oh, yeah.
expect from a
Yeah.
masterpiece, from a old masterpiece figure, not a new one. But I just love being so simplified. You lose a lot of the panel lines in the car modes, which comparing it to something like Red Alert, where you've got a lot of panel lines around the doors and everything, and this doesn't.
But isn't that mainly from transformation?
Well, yeah, you need panel lines for transformation, but because the transformation's a lot simpler.
So
on
going
these.
going back to the first one here. There's your render of the
Yeah,
of the
a
vehicle
render
mode,
only. Yeah,
and that's what the vehicle mode actually looks like.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
there's definite cracks for panels and
Yeah,
stuff.
there's some lines. Yep, yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh, they
Red
don't
Alert's
actually
got
have
them in
the,
the
they
skirt
don't
and
actually
board.
have the prototype for Wild Rider. So
No,
No.
fair
Are
enough.
they-
So,
Give me the
yeah.
second one.
same kind of thing.
Mm.
I don't know. They do look
You're
a
right.
bit. The renders look a bit goofy. But I really do like the look of the prototypes. I'm gonna keep my eye on these guys. So it looks like rubber wheels as well. So that's
Yeah, I know. I've seen that.
It looks like it
I'm
on the
more- I'm more
render,
excited.
but not on that.
Could they be placeholders, or do they not do
They
that?
could be. I mean, this is the 3D printed prototype or what,
Yeah.
whatever they've molded the prototype
And
out of. So
They might not.
maybe they're just a placeholder.
Yeah, because they might not have wanted to just show the wheels without the tires on them, because that'd look a bit odd.
Hmm.
I want to see Motormaster. I want to see what the
Oh, yeah,
Motormaster
I
looks
think-
like.
Yes, that should be interesting. Because every
Seals the deal.
every single take on a Motormaster from these third party companies has been different. I haven't really seen one that I really like yet, so maybe this.
Oh, that last one. It's not transmissions.
Is it?
Whatever it was. No, it's not. Anyway,
Yeah, the latest one that's coming
Yeah.
out now. That one does look good, and that's
that's a good looking. Yeah.
it's a big one.
Can I sidetrack us for a minute and take us to a different story that's not in the run sheet?
But of course,
Yeah, sure.
Since we are talking about
mon ami.
Michael Bay announced for Transformers 7.
Really? Well, of course he has.
Oh, hello.
Open
Yeah, I can
Plays,
talk about this.
Open Plays Big Spring. Third
yes.
party.
Oh, it's
Third,
Big Spring now.
yeah. So the third party Springer that has come out of nowhere almost this week and has wowed almost everyone. This guy, Open Plays Big Spring, their version of Springer. He's out now in a lot of pre-release photographs. There's a bit of a controversy over his facial sculpt, but the rest of the figure looks pretty good.
Kind of looks like he's got a sour lolly in his mouth, like
Is that because he looks Asian?
a little bit.
No, it's not because he looks Asian. It's
He's got more
basically
strength.
it's the sort of the featureless face and just sort of the mouth there as well. But
Okay.
I actually don't really mind the face for Springer. I think it's pretty good. Like Springer has one of those things where it's just like he's got a bunch of robot kibble, looking almost like Octane, just a green version of him. And then they've just sort of like drawn a face in there. And so
This looks like he's like angry, kinda. Which
it's a masterpiece scaled Springer. His alt modes look good.
it looks very decent.
And he's probably like
Cockpit looks good on the
he's
both
like
modes
$60
as well.
to $70 shipped.
Yeah, there is. I think he might be on I think I saw him on an Australian retailer, so you can get him for about $80 shipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stuart
That's
Flynn's got
really
him.
good. I mean, if this is MP size, is that what they're claiming?
Yeah.
So it is, but I think for the price, you're probably unlikely to get die-cast parts.
I honestly,
Or
it doesn't
engineering.
fuss me.
I don't know. That I reckon.
Does that fuss you? Do you want die cast in your masterpieces?
I kind of feel that if you get to the point where you've got a larger figure like Springer and you don't have something that actually adds some heft into the figure, then I don't know. I feel like this could be quite light when it arrives. Like at the bit of a knock might knock it over. I don't know.
Does
But think of the price. Think about the price too. You start looking at third-party figures where you have die casts. They're going to be over $100.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
Yeah,
Is there anything under $100 that's got die casts in it?
a slab of die cast.
yes, yeah. Or like there's actually a ton of Star Wars figures that are all die cast at the moment.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
come
exactly
on,
like the one
come
that Joel
on.
sells.
Yeah.
Without engineering. Come
They've
on.
got engineering. Transformation.
That wasn't your question.
Yeah, you were just
Okay.
saying what? Again, Brad, what figures come with die casts that are under $100? Didn't specify. Transformers, I can't think of any, to be honest.
There probably are some. I actually find that adding diecast into a figure is not actually necessarily the most difficult thing for the manufacturers to accomplish. The problem comes with doing it well. Like you have to do it in such a way that it actually weights the figure and adds to it or adds to its posability. Like the Fans Toys and Insecticons, they've all got like diecast in their legs, and they are fantastic to play with and pose. But you're right, they're over 100 each. So yeah. The reason I brought this up is because this is going to be like a $70 or $80 figure as delivered, and it's like maybe if they'd gone and stuck some diecast in there, and maybe it might end up being a better figure at $100 if they actually did that. But let's get the figure out there. I think he's coming out in the next couple of weeks. Let's get the figure out there and see how he goes.
Oh, he looks great.
To me, this looks like a much better Masterpiece Springer than, say, what's the other ones out at the moment? Unique Toys Alan.
Alan.
Yeah, that thing. Steve.
Alan.
Oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah.
I
don't like that one. It's interesting, but it's not really Springer to me. This one looks. I haven't really seen much of this guy.
This one looks. Well, so this is the thing. This sort of came out of nowhere this week and has really impressed. But the facial sculpt has been controversial, and they are listening and they are looking at making some changes to it. So I don't know. We'll see.
And if not, there's like I think Dr. Wu is still in.
Oh, they're still trying to get that. They're trying to get that mix master out. Don't even go there.
So this is the thing. Like you can't always say, oh, I don't like this aspect of this figure. Maybe there'll be a third party add-on, because you can't guarantee that. And also you should
party,
but
also you shouldn't. Well, yeah. Also, they are a third party add-on, they're a third party figure in the first place. But you shouldn't be buying a figure and thinking, I'll fix that later. Like if you don't like it, don't buy it. I personally don't really have that much of a problem with his face.
I don't either, really. I mean, it just looks like he is looking quite like he's about to cut you. So,
what's the what's the phrase that people have been
I've got better things to do tonight than die.
That wasn't the phrase.
Oh, that's Springer. I thought that's what you talked about.
No, that wasn't it. There's the phrase that people have been using about some of the head sculpts in Hasbro's figures for the last few years is, and also it applies to the third parties, is dull. Was it dull?
Oh, dull surprise.
Dull surprise. That's the one, right?
Yeah.
But this looks more like, okay, he's a little bit more focused on his combat, and in this pose that face sculpt looks pretty good. Maybe they'll just throw out some extra faces in the box.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. I mean, they haven't said this is all you're getting, have they?
It's a third party figure, that is more than likely.
Yeah, and it's Masterpiece based, so why not?
Yeah. Sorry to disappoint Jason, but episodes 80 to 90, this come out in a 3D printed prototype.
Yeah, I do recall us talking about, and I'm pretty sure we did look at this, and I think we might have dismissed it because we were just like, who the hell is this company? And this is their first thing, and I don't know whether I'd buy it.
I mentioned at the time that because it was right where the third party Springers exploded onto the scene.
Yeah, because there were like 5 of them.
Or sprung onto the scene.
Yeah. Nice. I said this is my preferred Springer out of them all. And now it's got paint and all this. I'm vindicated and I'm happy.
So have you ordered it?
No.
This is the one I'm definitely getting. Have you ordered it? Nah.
No, it's my favorite of them all, but I'm not buying movie figures now.
What? Oh, okay. This one has got the cockpits right. I feel the other representation's just been too small.
Well, they stay the same size between car and helicopter.
No, they don't
But it's-
actually. If you look at it, the helicopter is.
No. The general ones come out. They stay the
Oh
same.
yeah,
whereas this-
right.
yeah,
You're talking about this one.
This one.
With this one varies, which I think is smart because
Yeah.
helicopters. Well, you'd think that thing would be just a one-person thing.
Well, it's more of a change up between the two modes. It's
it gives more of a illusion that they're
Yeah.
they're separate things, even though they're clearly just like you put a helicopter blade on top of this thing and now it's helicopter. But that's what Springer was. Yeah.
Anyway, back to an earlier story in the group today, or this week. Why don't you reissue G1 Springer instead of Predaking?
That is an interesting point. Well, I mean, like they don't generally go around reissuing G1 figures willy-nilly.
No.
But we actually did get a Springer recently in the Platinum movie pack, didn't we?
And the Thrilling 30 Springer.
But also, let's just remember Springer. The Thrilling 30 generation Springer is one of the best figures that's come out of the line in the last decade.
And then one of the best triple changes ever, I think.
So like, you know,
does it all
we're not poorly served for Springer, but I think people who are missing their G1 Springer, I think they can definitely get it. I don't think it's that hard to find.
There's not enough movie reissues. I don't even think there's hardly any movie reissues. Because the Autobots are pretty much most of the good ones.
Well, so in the Transformers collection, the book style reissues from Takara, there was Pup, there was Wheelie, and there was Hot Rod. There wasn't Rodimus, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we need, like, with these Platinum series, like we've had Insecticons, we've had at least 3 reissues of the Insecticon 3-pack. And then, I mean,
Galvatron would be your biggest holdout because it's still going off that G1 mold.
What was the most recent reissue of Galvatron? Was the purple colored one, right?
Yeah, that came with the Matrix and the chain. And that was
the same color as the Hobby. Was that the same E-Hobby one or something?
I think that was the E-Hobby one.
I think it was.
Yeah.
But I think we do need, even though how goofy they are, we've got all these updated versions of them. Yeah. I think we should get like the sweeps because I mean they're weird and Cyclonus and Galvatron or something. But
we have chug sweeps.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm happy with the Titans.
No, I'm just saying I want reissues of the G1 sweeps.
I feel like Galvatron and Cyclonus and Scourge are generally regarded as poor figures and probably not something that they want to reissue.
Well, would you think Springer is good enough?
Yeah, well, I've never really looked at a G1 Springer that closely.
He's all right.
Yeah.
He's not.
It's pretty bad.
Considering it's 2 Cybertronian modes, yeah, it's pretty bad. When you had Blitzwing, which was amazing, Astro Chain was pretty good as well.
Yeah, at least you can fold them up and make them into 2 different modes where Springers just turn upside down, and extend the tail.
The best G1 triple changer has to be Sandstorm, definitely. You kidding?
No.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it. What a third party tried to do with it.
You've seen,
you haven't
seen the G1.
Really,
no.
The G1 turns a dune buggy into a helicopter really well, and the robot modes are. Look at a picture of G1 Sandstorm. And
I still reckon Blitz Astro Train. No, it is Blitzwing. Blitzwing does a good job.
Yeah. But have it honestly. If you have some spare time, go and look at a G1 Sandstorm. He's like really amazing engineering for the time.
Simon's got it. I'll even bring up Nerd Mania next week.
Well, he could use this magical thing called the internet that you're talking to me right now and have a look.
It doesn't help me play it in. It doesn't help me play it in hand. I wanted my hands.
Oh my god! All right, let's move on.
Yeah, all right.
Oh boy.
So I'm glad we got to have a chat about Open Play Springer because he's actually been one of the things that I've put on pre-order this week, and
I will too.
I'm quite excited to get my hands on.
Yeah.
So, Unique Toys has come out with their Palm series figures this week, and the Palm series is sort of a little legend scale figures that they're becoming quite popular with a lot of manufacturers at the moment. We've got Iron Factory, and DX9 has their War in Pocket series as well. So, so this is the third. I guess.
Hell are they?
This is the third
Yeah.
entry in the series. So they've got what have we got? We've got Legend Scale's headmasters, in fact. So Highbrow, Huracan's Ape Face and Snapdragon,
Oh,
and
okay.
Cerebros.
Where's our
Yep.
Fort Max then?
The Fort Max style thing. I did actually see the Fort Max picture in here, and if I scroll down here, there you go.
Oh, he does turn into a head. There you go. We're getting it. That's going to be tiny. The headmasters you could probably inhale
Nice sword.
for the size. Yeah. Nice. You could probably put that head on a normal headmaster.
So
That'd be cool.
So in terms of articulation on these guys,
Pretty good.
They're ball joints, okay? So like you're limited in what you can do, but like he can still sort of strike
Why?
The Iron Man. He can
his
do
Iron
more.
Man pose.
He can do more of the Iron Man pose than a lot of the deluxes can do. So that's very impressive.
Very true.
And I mean,
I
they're
don't-
palm series, so you're not going to be. I mean, the fact that these things have cockpits is very
So
impressive.
cute.
I want to see the Snapdragon and Ape Face.
Yeah.
Look, his
Ankle tilts?
No, it's not an ankle tilt. Look at the right. Look at the left leg. It's a foot tilt.
Foot tilt, yeah.
Although, maybe there's actually a platform under that foot that's actually doing it. But yeah, it's
Well, that's the only way he comes.
yeah.
Imagine if you can't actually move his foot. Like you're standing him straight. This hurts. No, it looks like they do. These look real great for the scale.
They do. Look,
Who is this?
I don't know. Who is that? That like the jets on the side make it look slightly brainstormish.
But they've already got a brainstorm, don't they?
Tail Vitoff or tail fins.
No, that's not brainstorm.
No, who is he? Fly dude.
Flyboy.
Flyboy the third of his name of Westeros.
Anyway,
Whoever he is, he looks cool.
not sure when these guys are in grey prototypes, so it might be a while before they're finished and
paint.
Alt modes for Ape Face and Snapdragon, or is it just that?
There's not.
Oh, that's unfortunate. They look too simple to be triple changes.
Very possibly.
But they look cool. I mean, that head's pretty much Snapdragon over there, so that's pretty cool.
So besides the like Titan Masters, and I guess I think Hasbro's Legends scale is pretty well regarded at the moment. The figures that they brought out in that series are pretty good. Are you looking to extend your collection in that direction with Iron Factory? I'm certainly South African. Iron Factory and DX9 and now Unique Choice Palm. Like, are you looking to extend your collection in that way? There's been a bit of joking talk that as people run out of space for their collections, this is sort of the way to expand their collections.
Well, isn't that the case in like the Japanese culture or those type of things where they just don't have enough room, so they prefer the smaller type of collectibles so they can have more of them or something like that? Or they could just
masterpieces aren't small, Mikey.
No, but I don't think don't they usually just try to collect the small things possible because they just don't have enough space?
Takara sell them locally. No, I've got no interest in these bots at all.
I think Shockwave would look good next to it.
Yep.
Combine it with Shockwave.
No, all the engineering's here. They got accessories. There's some great detail in them. It'd be good to see them with paint, and we'll probably revisit this in a few weeks' time when they got paint on them.
And we see the ultimate modes.
All right, let's move on. We'll do a little bit of movie talk before we finish up. There's a bit of concept art that's made its way out into the world this week from the last night movie. Not all of the concept art was actually used to construct the bots in the movie, but it does show some of the original designs and sort of some of the deviations. Now, Brad, when we were talking about Canopy a couple of weeks ago, you specifically said to me, "Oh no, the rubble's just on his back; it's not actually a part of him."
I also heard in a podcast today that someone said his alt mode was a pile of rubble.
That's quite a stretch. Anyway, so this is what Canopy was originally envisaged to be before he sort of just turned up into long haul under a pile of rocks.
Yes.
And with a paint job.
With a yellow job. And everyone was convinced it was Bumblebee who didn't know what Transformers
Love
were.
the name Ruin Spot. No, but we got a lot of like
named in Canopy, let's be honest, but yeah.
What about Dreadbot? That's a great name.
No. Well, this is taking more of the rubble and incorporating into robot mode. Like he's got his right legs all rubble. He's got a lot of canopy type tarpaulins, as he's almost got a cloak.
Am I the only one that sees Devastator?
I definitely, yeah. There's a certain Devastator look to it. More so for the color variations, I'd say.
The head kind of looks like a master thing.
Yeah, but the alt mode, like if he was a abandoned subway car
to a choo-choo
in that area, that would have been great.
Yeah, that would have made sense, you know. And as a thing, you know, if he was going into hiding, wouldn't that be one of the perfect things to turn into, like a train that could go underground and stuff? Like, maybe.
Air quotes, robots in disguise.
Yeah, but like if he's a train,
if you're gonna hide out in an abandoned area, an old graffitied subway car, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Or you could do like one of those things where it's just on fire. Like what was that? It's just a disaster flick, and this train is just it's continuing just going on its journey, and then there's just fire and just like dead people in it and all that. Just like, oh, okay.
Godzilla.
Yeah, I think so.
The army guys walk along on the bridge, and here's a
and then the train, and it's just
here's the guns, and everything else, and all of a sudden, train just comes out of the mist. Yeah,
and it's just there's no one, you know, driving it, I guess, but I guess, yeah. But
again, this is concept art, so
yeah.
Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. Oh God, nightmares.
No, there's another version of him. Oh, yeah.
Right, okay.
Non-colored.
So there was actually a point made that you can see bots living inside him, and like there's bots hanging off his arm and stuff as well. So
these little children. Maybe they're the passengers of the train.
Maybe there's even pictures of the train that he's based on. So
or feeding off his edge.
So there's also a battle that did not occur in the movie, which is Drift versus Mohawk.
How would that happen?
That's short. Going after what happened to Onslaught, and Mohawk's not lasting a second.
Mohawk is going to get flayed right there.
Mohawk is actually armed with some knives that we didn't see in the movie as well.
Oh, I thought they were just his arms. I thought they were okay, right. No, he's getting the sword right through him and he's dead.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what's going to happen, right?
Because just look at that. That's exactly what's going to. What are those two tiny little toothpicks going to do to Drift?
So then there was also so the previous shots that we were looking at are things that didn't make it into the movie. This one definitely did. This is the horn in Namibia, and there's also the is that the African one? Not sure. It's interesting that this one actually has the hexagonal Cybertron design around it as well.
Yeah, good point.
I don't think we actually saw that in the movie.
No,
and also
that's like New Mexico or something. That's White Dunes.
The what do you call it? The
Cybertron's in orbit.
Well, something is latching onto it.
And it's attached to the horn. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to rip it out.
Intriguing. Yeah. One thing it didn't come across so much in the film, and seeing this, it sort of comes out a bit more, is how shallow the horns are coming out of the ground. Like it's not coming straight up out of the ground; it's sort of raising, especially that. Like that's only, you look at the circumference of the horn, and it's probably 100 meters under under the earth. Like it's not deep.
Well, so this is the point that I was trying to make in terms of us not really knowing what Unicron is in the movieverse. We don't know if that horn even goes under the surface of the earth, or if it's just growing from it.
Well, and that's the biggest thing. It says it's growing by a rate of, I think it's 3 meters a day, which is that Earth, whatever's on the surface, is coming together to make it. It has to be, because there's nothing underneath. Yeah, there's nothing underneath that could be filing up behind it.
What I thought the six. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, this is the day trader Steve Buscemi robot.
That is not something you want to look at ever.
They put a beard on it. Thank God.
Yeah.
They didn't show it that often, they didn't show it that much in the movie. Thank God.
Yeah.
But I was thinking for like the unicorn horns, the
unicorn horns.
It's late.
The unicorns.
So it's like they're like his mouth. They're like the close ones that like would grab on and like feed himself with.
Yeah, the mandibles.
They're not his actual, big old whatever those are. But again,
But that's one thing I missed from the film, and we might be going into slight spoilers here.
It's okay. The movie's been out for 4 weeks.
Yeah, no, it's been out a while.
There's 6 of them.
I think we had 5, didn't we?
Or
they
5.
Said 6, I think.
5, yeah, 5 or 6. Now, at one point, they would have all been
together,
coming up like that.
Yeah.
In the center is Stonehenge, and you got Pangaea in the middle. But then they deduce that over continental drift, they've all gone like that, and all pointing different ways. Okay, that makes 0. Okay. 0.
Yeah.
It makes 0 sense.
So, it does. It really does.
But again, if it's materializing from the Earth itself, then okay. They're growing, but they're
gonna
not.
Look really odd if he comes out like fully, because then all of his parts would just be absolutely anywhere.
Hornhead.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right.
I feel like it's appropriate at this point to do another quick Google. Transformers.
Oh my God.
G.I. Joe. Earth transformed.
Oh God, not this thing. with Italy as the boot.
It's there we are. This is the guy, and Australia is the shield.
Yeah, good on.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that was a weird story arc.
How the hell is Italy in the boot?
I know, and how is it that big?
Oh wow!
And why are we using Australia as a shield?
Why is he?
Or like a knuckle duster?
He's Jason. Well,
what?
I don't even know what that means.
He's got a Jason mask on. That's not Unicron. It's Jason mask.
Well, so he's not Unicron. He's Atlas.
Oh, that's such a shit name.
And he's Pangaiden.
Wait, what? His name's Pangaiden.
Look at the speech bubble right there. It says Cybertron's lost sibling. He goes by many names: Earth, Atlas, Terra, and the laser scrolls refer to him as Pangaiden.
Oh, that thing's just shocking.
That planet's and the best thing is, as the Transformers and G.I. Joe series that IDW has been publishing for the last year or so has basically gone from page to page, set piece to set piece, and it's basically been like a kid playing with his toy sets. And so the voice from off screen could well be that kid just observing, going, "That planet-sized robot just sucker punched Primus."
So this is from a relatively new comic strip?
Yeah, this is from IDW's Transformers versus G.I. Joe.
From how long ago?
From from a few months ago.
Not a few months.
It is a few months ago.
Really? I swore I saw this guy years ago.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this back to the movie.
No,
you have an issue. Don't no, I'm going to.
Brad, don't be an asshole.
It looks like Cybertron.
So the idea is that it's meant to evoke Cybertron, but like I said, the comic is basically meant to be a kid playing with his toy sets.
That's why it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why it's ridiculous. Like
Right.
there's been like G.I. Joe's chased across Cybertron by Trypticon. Like
What?
yeah, right. Like that's it's a good
Okay, that's
it's a
clever
good
then.
fun book.
Okay.
It's a good fun book, and yeah, the guys who've been working on it have clearly been having a blast.
Oh, I love the scale of just Italy. I just love it.
Yeah, it's just
Oh.
this is the thing, right? Like it's a kid just sort of
It's
sitting
in a
there,
kid's
just going
mind.
like, oh, and it'll have Italy as its boot,
That's
haha.
why not?
You know,
No, okay, well, fair. Then okay, because I heard it's just absolutely bonkers the story.
it
And
is completely batshit crazy.
then that's fine if it's a kid's thing of it. That'd be something like, I mean, a very artistic kid if he drew it, but like that's exactly what it would look like. Oh, that's intense.
Yeah.
Is the face supposed to be like Antarctica or something?
It
But
may
just,
it may well be looking at the close up of it down at the bottom of the panel. I reckon you're right. I reckon it
or
is.
just a slab of it or something, because that'd be way too small.
Well, so that in somewhat disturbing news, a very large shelf of ice disappeared what do we say?
A trillion tons.
Broke off. Yeah, broke off from
trillion
Antarctica.
tons.
Excuse
Is
me,
now
what?
heading north. Yeah, a trillion ton
trillion
ice
tons.
When
shelf.
did they say that?
This week, a trillion
Oh,
ton
fuck.
ice shelf just disappeared, or
Yeah.
just broke
Oh
off
my,
from
a
Antarctica.
trillion ton.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Show me the show.
that is probably it on Atlas's face. Let's be
There you go.
honest.
That's what's
That's
left.
why it broke off.
Shit.
He's transforming.
Well, except okay, that one's the only one that makes sense because Antarctica can,
It actually makes no sense if you consider the size of Earth. But yeah,
No, exactly. Yeah,
Oh.
but like if it was to like melt,
Um,
but like Australia
sorry.
can't melt. It's like
I'm staying very quiet.
I'm quite happy to see that rivers and lakes are still represented on the
on the
on the
shoulder.
landmass. Although I think the representation of the lakes across Australia is probably slightly flawed.
That would
yeah.
deem that WA is the most waterbound.
Yeah,
God.
mind you, let's just compliment them for not forgetting Tasmania.
Yeah. Good point.
Whereas many do.
Well done, IDW. Well done.
Where's
And don't forget, Europe is the cock of the world. So
ah?
Like, what is on the left leg?
Stuff.
Is that meant to be South America or something?
I can't tell through this. It's just so.
It's the only continent that's not represented there. So
It is
Congo?
all over the place. All right. I think we've had enough fun about
Pangea.
Transformers and G.I. Joe and Pangea. Let's
I haven't.
let's go back and quickly talk about a bit more of Transformers last night news. Weekend box office. The movie's basically gone to just shy of 500 million for its third weekend. So it's about a third down on Age of Extinction, which got to about 750 million by then. So yeah.
That's worldwide figures too, which is
Really? Wow. That's pretty
Mhm.
bad.
yeah.
Because didn't Age of Extinction get to billion?
I think it just scraped into it,
Eventually.
yes. Yeah.
Okay. But
I reckon this will probably make it eventually as well, but
yeah. But Dark of the
it'll
Moon
be a long
made it?
slog.
Did it?
I don't know.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Dark of the Moon got there.
I
Yeah.
think so. But,
I like that.
yeah.
I like it on the note saying like, you know, it's just about made it to 500 million. After Age of Extinction's third weekend, it was 250 million further in front, and then the final line of the story is it's yet to be released in Latin America, Israel, Japan, and Spain.
Well, there's a million.
Yeah. There's about 1 million for them, but also the last final note is it opens in Egypt tomorrow.
How has it been this long since it's actually the movie
Oh,
hasn't been
no.
fully released worldwide?
No, movies
yeah.
never get fully released worldwide. Just remember, we're basically the West.
Okay.
Well, you know, like we're a
there's-
Western country.
Right. Okay. So it's a lot
there's-
different. Okay.
Yeah, there's a growing,
Also,
there's a
if
growing trend
we don't-
now.
If we don't get movies day and date with the rest of the world, we pirate the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a trend now where films are coming out in a certain country and then there's weeks delay.
That's not a new trend. That's always been the trend. We've just moved on to the first cycle of release in Australia.
Okay, yeah,
Wow,
okay.
wait.
Because, like I said, we pirate the shit out of it if we don't get it. And I'm just going to keep saying it because every time I say pirate the shit out of it, Mikey laughs.
It's so
Yeah.
true, though.
I know it's true.
We all do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna use two examples here. They're not Transformers related at all. Back in 1993, when Jurassic Park came out, it was June 12th in the States. It didn't come out here until September 6th. Months later,
Yeah, sure.
Jurassic World 2, Fallen Kingdom, that's coming out next year. It's coming out 2 weeks ahead
Is
of
it
the
though?
world.
God.
It is. In UK, he's getting it 2 weeks ahead of everyone else. That's going to cause...
It's not going to
that's
cause
where
much.
I'll leave that.
It's not going to cause that much.
America got Spider-Man before us, but that was like a week.
Did they?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I think what you find usually is that we actually tend to get it a day before America because of the time zone differences.
Yeah, but I looked at
And
this one.
advanced screening and pre-advanced screenings. And
it was mostly the ones that do all the reviews, so maybe it was like Sean Long and all that. I think they do.
So it was a critic advanced screening.
Maybe that.
Yeah, of course it was.
That's before the advanced screening.
I really want to see Baby Driver, just since we're talking about movies.
Yes, so do I actually.
Why the hell does that sound like a sequel to Baby Boss? Anyway, don't worry about it.
God, no, it is absolute different.
Brad, you need to actually.
Well, don't put
Brad, you need to leave your house and go to the cinema.
I've seen the trailer.
Good.
No, I've seen the trailer. It's all right.
Let's stop pretending that you don't know what the movie's about then.
The only trailers you see are on the back of your truck.
Okay, and
I don't look behind me.
Small.
Oh, that's great! I'm glad you only look forward when you drive.
He barely looks forward. He's often editing the podcast.
Exactly.
I had 2 today to do so.
Oh, there you go.
So, last night note: the 2 CD set is actually available in a 3,000 set limited edition. 2 CD set from La La Land Records.
I was glad this didn't say dollars. No, it's a good opportunity to get this in hand, not digital, and just go poof when the internet stops. La La Land do a great job with their soundtracks, and I wish they'd get onto the rest of the movie soundtracks as well.
I legitimately just downloaded it just then, so that's good.
Yeah. So Mikey's purchased it off iTunes. So you are one of the 15,000.
Yep. So am I.
Oh, yay! I'm part of the human race. No, I love the if the movies get something right, they get their scores right. The soundtracks, they're quite good. They might not choose the best artists, like the best.
They might
not choose the best bands to collaborate with.
Bands, exactly. No, unfortunately.
Hey, Linkin Park was fine.
Yeah, they were all right. But then, like, what was this movie's one?
What was it? Someone called Linkin Park and Imagine Dragons whinge metal.
What?
Whinge metal.
So Imagine Dragons had their thing in this one as well.
No, they didn't. I don't think there was anyone in this one.
No, I don't think so. Which is odd.
We'll talking before we start. Like, I prefer something original. We'll talk before about the Jumanji trailer, how you got Welcome to the Jungle, which fine, it's Welcome to the Jungle, whatever else, but it's Welcome to the Jungle. I can play that and not think Jumanji.
So my main problem with the Jumanji movie being called Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle is that The Rock has literally been in a movie called Welcome to the Jungle.
Well, it's called something else as well elsewhere.
It's called The Rundown, but it's called
it's called Jumanji Welcome to the Rundown. What?
Yes.
What?
That's the tagline.
It's Jumanji Rundown in the Jungle Street Fighter Turbo Championship Hyper
Revenge of the
Fighting
Fallen.
Edition. Yeah.
Avatar 2.
That's my problem with
Furious.
That's my problem with Jumanji is it's like it's become a sub brand.
Oh god, yeah. Fate of the fury of the fast, of the fasting, of the flamboyant furious. There you go. That's going to be the 17th.
I got to salute. Sorry, the flamboyant furious is a very different movie, but yes.
That's coming out in certain websites.
No, it's gonna be 906-9er. Fast 9er.
Oh wait, no. Someone told me today. No, number 10 was going to be Fast 10. Your seatbelts or some bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Oh god. They're gonna keep going until they get it to that. They're just gonna be rubbish films, but they just want to make that pun.
All right,
Oh,
I think we're done. I think we're done with news. We've veered off into
Right.
everything. Do we even need a main discussion? We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes.
No,
I don't think we do.
let's leave it.
Let's move on to
Yeah.
some new acquisitions, shall we? Brad, do you want to take the screen share off?
I can do that.
All right. Now, do you have any new
Soon my
figures
mouse
this
comes
week?
up to- I do not.
All right, we're gonna go with Mikey first then.
Oh, did you get
If
something?
I had a
Oh,
ball,
cool.
I did
if I had
get
a ball,
I
I'd
did
drop
get some things.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mhm.
Okay, so I saw this guy. I mean, everyone's been saying, in my American friends been saying they've been seeing this guy everywhere, and I haven't. So I picked up Broadside because I love Broadside, and this is actually my attempt at a fan mode for the jet mode, at least. So you do have the feet hanging off the back like that. I think they're kind of thrusters, and they kind of keep the flow of the jet mode looking like that. I think like you don't have any undercarriage.
Yeah, well, it's not feet hanging down, which is a
No,
start.
it's not. Yeah, it's feet hanging like that. I mean,
Up.
So I mean, I think it looks like a more coherent jet, and I think it looks way better. The carrier mode and the robot mode are pretty much flawless because they just look like Broadside. And yeah, I'm actually getting 2 upgrade sets for this. I'm getting the repro labels and a weapons set because the weapon that he comes with is just absolutely honestly one of the worst weapons I think has ever come with a Transformer figure ever. It's just a translucent seat with a gun on the end of it, it's just garbage. It has nothing to do with any modes, and it just doesn't. So there's this person called Non-F.
Yeah, None makes a lot of add-ons and mods for figures. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I couldn't purchase through him because he doesn't ship to Australia or something. Did I do it through you, Jason? I think I did.
No, you did it through someone, and you had me pay that person.
Oh yeah,
you
right.
paid me, and
So
then you paid me the wrong amount, and yeah.
Yeah, but we'll figure that out. But yeah, he needs his axe because Broadside has his axe, and this guy did not come with an axe, and my lighting's just shocking. But anyway,
Yeah, notice the lighting's just doing some weird thing.
it just whenever it feels like it. So I just kind of focus it a bit, and then it just comes back. There you go. So I'm getting some axes and stuff for that, so it's going to be pretty cool.
I'm going to call out 2 things on the shelves I see behind you there. Number one is, since we were talking about him, Jetfire is hanging around up top. Actually, that's not Jetfire. That's Fans Toys Phoenix, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep, good job. And slightly less embarrassing for me and more embarrassing for you is the product placement for Rexona going on your shelf.
Oh shit, that is there. Well, we should probably put that away. I didn't realize. Oh, that's good. Okay, very good, Jason.
What does that transform into?
Fragrant smells. It transforms me from a sweaty yuck into
A
delicious
pleasant day.
A pleasant day. Pleasant fragrance. So I got this guy from Joel. This is the Supreme. Oh crap.
Legendary Leader Convoy.
Legendary
run sheet.
Legendary Leader Convoy. That's his name.
So he's the second release for the Masterpiece Optimus Primal figure with a few extra pieces this time around.
Oh yes, including the awesome Battle Mask.
Yeah.
And I just love how terrifying
it actually lights up.
Wow.
Yeah, no, so Optimus, so what happens is, if I take this off, there's actually, see that? Oh, I'll do it again.
Yeah, so we were talking about the glowing red version, and I don't think we even realized that it actually really glows.
So it's basically just this little area that lights up. So once you press the button, it doesn't light up Prime's eyes on the back. So it's actually really cool that they actually included it so that you could light up his mutant mask. And I just think it's a completely different character because this guy looks like he's going to straight up murder someone.
He really does, doesn't
he? He is terrifying. He's got an improved flail, ball and chain, whatever. Much longer, can actually probably stab you with this bit, and actually the chain goes away pretty quickly into the thing, and then you can put the head on to that, but the chain actually goes away, which is pretty cool. The double-sided saber's pretty cool, very Revenge of the Sith type. Oh no, yes, I don't know. Very Darth Maul. And yeah, he still comes with the 2 blades. He actually comes with this piece that you put onto the post that's on his back, so you can actually store all of the new accessories. And if you're just to take it off, you can store them and just keep them aside, which is pretty
somewhere
cool.
else. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a much more, again, like, this is why I also think he's evil, because he's just like black and red, and I love him. I just love activating his eyes. It's just so menacing. And this, I'm not sure if it's intentional or not, but is it running of you two know? Is this supposed to represent his bat form from the, you know how he came Optimus Prime and Megatron in the crocodile and bat form? Is that what that's
I'm going to
referencing?
defer to Brad on that.
Okay, because
Mainly because he's not paying attention. But also because I don't know.
What crocodile rock? What crocodile rock?
Crocodile rock.
Apparently, we all tried rocking to it, and
Okay.
our feet just can't keep still. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's the 2-pack of the Scout class Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal and Megatron. One was a crocodile Megatron, and then the Optimus Primal was a blue bat. You remember that?
Isn't that a BotCon thing that came out last year?
That's what it's. It's an update.
That's what it's homaging.
That's what it's homaging. So that's what. Oh, okay. You guys don't know, but I think that's what.
I think that should be clear by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think that's homaging. Anyway, it's his mutant mask from G1 from Beast Wars. You know how Beast Wars toys had their.
Oh yeah, that thing is a perfect example of the Beast Wars toy, which makes me really want to buy it. Unfortunately,
this one's that's exactly why. Because like I owned the Universe version, and I loved having the creepy ass mask on. And lastly, he's right there, but I'm not going to get him out. Scoria from Fans Toys. And now I've got a complete set of Masterpiece Dinobots next to my KOG ones, and I love them. 2 of them so far are repro labeled up. So once they're all repro labeled up, I'm gonna take some really cool group shots of them, because they just look stunning together, and I can't they definitely win the Dinobot wars. And again, Dinobots don't need to combine. So yeah, I'm really happy to finally have all 5 Dinobots together. They're just perfect. I can't really fault them, but well, the only fault is they don't have enough G1 detail, which repro labels does like to help me with. So yeah, that's what I got in the last 2 weeks.
Very nice.
Yeah, no, very happy with my purchases.
I'm gonna go through mine. I got 4. I'm only gonna show 3 of them because there's no. So I got Masterpiece Dirge, and no one really needs. What?
No, you got him. That's good.
No one really needs to get another Masterpiece Seeker. So far more interesting for me is Bad Cube's Brawny.
Wow.
Masterpiece scale, because he's a mini bot version of Brawn. I posted some pictures of this guy up in the group during the week, and just like
that's Megatron's gun.
Yeah, I know. It really looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just like in G1, where Brawn had a repaint into Outback, Brawny has a bot sibling called Backland, and so you can see a lot of the similarities there. What's really impressive about this is they've released these 2 figures at the same time. There's a lot of similarities in them, so like you can see they're sort of based on the same alt mode at the back, but there's all these differences, like the part where this hangs up here. The chest design is different, although the transformation for the chest is the same. And so like a lot of the transformations and the end results are identical. It's almost like when we were talking about the Autobot and Decepticon clones last week. They've got the same base, but they came out quite differently. And I quite appreciate it. It's almost the same weapon. In fact, it's just different scale. Almost. Yeah, no, not quite. But I really appreciate them. They're
Aussie
quite nice.
Transformer, woo!
Yeah, well, so yeah, there's not
about
there's not
damn
many
time.
times we get an Aussie Transformer, is there?
And it's only Outback.
Yep, and he's literally named Outback
Yeah, I
because
know, because
no one has any idea about Australia. And while I'm in the mode of receiving Transformers from Japan, I also got this guy, Magna Convoy,
Ooh.
which is
Oh,
look the Classics Prime mold is a classic.
Yeah. Oh, I see
Uh-huh.
what you did there.
Yes. And so this guy comes with this extra sword and an extra piece that can sort of turn into another gun as well. And yeah, he's really impressive. Comes with quite a lot of chrome
Oh, nice.
paint on him as well.
it
I
does. Yeah.
think the sword might be other Try-Ons, and then the shield might be Rat-Bats, I think.
Possible. It's quite possible. There's it's sort of a bit of close-up detail on the shield. You can attach the shield to the sword. So, yeah, if the sword looks familiar, then that'll be why. But he's a hell of an impressive figure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great. Really, really nicely done. My cat is attacking one of my Transformers boxes that I've been stored in for no
Is
reason.
it a Decepticon?
No reason.
Claw damage.
Like I'm just gonna put the camera over here. There we go. He's just tearing into it.
Oh, what is it?
It's just a box.
Cat, get out of it! Get out of it!
It's just he can't hear you, Brad.
Oh,
But yeah, no,
I'm
he's
trying to save the box.
he's just hoeing into that box. Don't know why. He's just I think he's just decided that it offends him, and that camera is about to fall off. I'm gonna need to fix that. Sorry. This is all super interesting. Yeah, so Magna Convoy, Backland, Brawny, and Masterpiece Dirge.
How is Dirge?
Dirge seems fine. Like I kind of feel like at this point it's just like fuck, get this last Seeker out and let me
then just be
finish
done
this
with it.
collection and move on.
That's exactly it.
It's
So
how many years has it been since MP11 was first released? I feel like it's like
2009.
At least five. At least five, I think. When we were talking about it before, does the MP Starscream mold have any diecast?
No.
Okay, then
It's spine. No, it's spine. It's back.
Oh no, you're right. Actually, yeah, there is
okay.
a. Is that the case on the MP11s? It's the case on MP3.
Yeah, it's a slide.
I'm
The
sure
slide.
it is. Yeah, no, there is.
slide
There
on the
definitely
back.
is. Yep.
Okay,
So
so 2012 was MP11. So like,
Yeah, so that's 5 years ago.
It's been a 5-year journey to complete these
God.
Seekers. Now, let's think about this for a bit.
Wow.
Right? So we've gone from this journey has taken us into some interesting territory as well, because I don't know what Andy's doing, but he just ran out of the room. So this has taken us to like rip-offs of the original MP3 mold, where other companies, I mean, literally the reason that iGear exists, or maybe not iGear exists, but one of the reasons that iGear Seekers are so popular is that they did these Conehead figures before Takara did them. And they filled this gap. And when Takara released them, started releasing theirs via Takara Tomy Mall when they announced Ramjet, I think was the first, and then Thrust was the second. Yeah, when and like this, it's been a 2-year battle just to get these things out of Takara Tomy Mall, because they announced them.
Yeah,
So
but not
done it again.
No,
They announce them and then they take 6 months to release them. Like this, I literally ordered Dirge a couple of days before Christmas, and then after they release them, then it takes a few more months for them to announce the next one, and then like it's about sort of 8 months from pre-order to about 8 months between figures.
Yeah, but you look at release, 2012, Starscream, Acid Storm, Sunstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got
Storm.
Then we got the Starscream redo for Hasbro. And now we got the free. Yeah, then we got the free Coneheads. That's a lot of Seekers in 5 years. That's more than one a year. And
Like I said, they're about 8 months. I'm not entirely sure of the cadence of them, but You know.
Yeah, but my point is just the reuse of that mold and like
We love it, don't we?
not Ramjet.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh,
it's the characters, you know.
Ramjet had the shoulder issues. I'll just you talking
Yes, he
about
did.
Surge and not having, by the sounds of it, not having any
Oh, so
issues
yeah,
fixed
so
at all.
that was the thing I was supposed to ask. Does he have any issues?
Or
No,
as these
actually,
issues
so
fixed.
he's much better than the others. So I took him out and like. Honestly, I feel like in terms of quality of the molds and quality of the figure design, like I think we're all just a bit over it.
Oh yeah.
It's like I said, it's another masterpiece Seeker. This time his wings are attached to his legs and they have a slightly different hinge on them. So those parts are new, but the base body of it, it's like we know how this moves, we know how it stands, and there's no secrets in this mold anymore.
No.
How it tries to stand.
I'm pretty sure I got like I got Thundercracker and Skywarp, and then I got him the Coronation Starscream, and I've never transformed him. I just can't be bothered. Just by this point, they're all just the same.
Well, if you want to go back even further, when did the Hasbro Thundercracker come out?
Which one?
That was before MP11. So
Hasbro's masterpiece Thundercracker. I don't think it came out before that. It was 2012, which was when MP11 came out.
Okay. Whoa, wait,
okay, disregard.
Hasbro's Thundercracker is the original.
Hasbro's Thundercracker. I think Hasbro's done 2 masterpiece Thundercrackers.
Yeah, that's confusing me.
Have they done 2? Yeah. No, maybe not. No, Hasbro's masterpiece Thundercracker is Takara's MP11 mold, and it came out in 2012.
Okay, so that's pretty interesting that they released it straight away to the.
It was a precursor to MP11, though, wasn't it?
No,
it was MP7.
So MP11 came out in March 2012.
Right.
I know this because I have the TF Wiki page for masterpieces in front of me.
Where's MP7? MP7.
He's not saying it for fun, Brad.
Where's MP7? How long ago did MP7 come out before that?
Well, before 2012, wasn't it?
Yes. Well,
2008.
Yeah.
MP7
and it was
was 2008.
Yeah. And it was a Thundercracker mold.
What's your point?
Which is before MP11.
I think his point is there's a
that
Thundercracker mold.
That mold come out 4 years before MP11.
What about it?
Look, I'm just saying.
Takara's MP7 is a repaint of Takara's MP3. It is not the MP11 mold.
I've got that Thundercracker. It's got no skirts on it.
Hasbro's Thundercracker has no skirts on it. Takara's Thundercracker has them.
Okay. All right. Little girl. Let's move on. Let's get.
This is like the 3rd time this has happened during this podcast. So yeah, look, Seekers are complete. Let's move on to something else. Like I feel like this is such an old mold, and there's been so many more interesting things that we've done in Transformers in the meantime. Like Inferno and Grapple show some interesting new changes to the way that we do transformations, and like that kind of stuff could make for an awesome new masterpiece Seeker mold. But I really hope they don't do that and go back to that. Well,
they have to do 6 plus.
It'll be another 6 years.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, it'll be coming. Don't worry. It'll be on the drawing board.
Because it takes so many years to add, wings in different places. It's very difficult.
I really hope that if they do that this time around, I really hope that they actually design all the pieces that are needed to roll off the factory assembly line at the same time, so they don't have to go back and retool things to do it.
I was shocked whenever we first saw a picture of Ramjet, because I thought we'd never get the cones ever, just because it took ages to get the normal Seekers.
So let's just remember the in terms of Japan, if you want these figures, you can't just walk into a retailer and get them. You have to get them from Takara Tomy Mall. It's the rest of the world where Hasbro Asia has been going, right, yeah, we'll distribute that. And so Japanese collectors are still kind of hard done by if they're looking for these figures. I mean, obviously they'll buy them from Takara Tomy Mall because they only ship there, but they have to go online to get these figures.
What else does Takara Tomy Mall sell?
Anything that's made by Takara Tomy.
Okay.
So, which is a very large contingent of toys.
Really? Okay.
They do a lot. They also do some Pokemon stuff as well. I think we're done.
Yep.
I think we're done. It's been a good sort of hour, 40 minutes. So, yeah, good on everyone. Brad, do you want to talk about some Transformers Collectors Club Australia Club events?
Yes, I can fly through this. Congratulations to Brad Toner that won the 2,500 member giveaway in the group.
Big
284
news
members.
is also that we actually hit 2,500 members in the Facebook group this week.
So
So
congratulations to us.
thank you, everyone.
Yep. I caved in and I gave away 2 sub prizes as well. So congratulations, guys. Your prizes will be out this week. Nerd Mania is next weekend, Shepparton Showgrounds, if you're in the Victoria area, which is probably 2% of people in the club.
I know, right?
I gotta say, I really enjoyed Nerd Mania. Is Nerd Mania this weekend or next weekend?
Next weekend.
Oh, I might be able to come down for that. I thought it was this weekend, but I would like to make it, but I'm not entirely sure that I can.
I'll come with you, Jacob. I'll store in your luggage.
I'm not called Jacob, but yeah.
Jacob.
You just called me Jacob. Like,
okay, that's your name from now on.
Whatevs. Yeah, fair enough. I'll just change my name.
Extra heavy luggage then.
I'll be Hurley. You could be Jack.
Who gets to be the smoke monster?
John.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, John can be the smoke monster. Yeah.
You killed me.
Does that mean that John is Titus Welliver?
I don't know what that means.
Cemetery Wind. Yeah, he's Cemetery Wind.
Yuck.
Done.
He's
Yeah.
to,
and of course,
yes, go on.
And of course, membership fees are now due. So if you want to,
oh shit, yeah.
If you consider being a member, we are going to have a members only giveaway in August. So sign up now to be in it.
To win it.
Yay!
All right.
We're probably going to go more for more membership giveaways than we do regular giveaways in the group for the next foreseeable future. So
I'll probably do that this weekend.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're done. It's verging on the ridiculous. It's nearly midnight, so it's about time we finish this recording so I can go to bed. Thank you for listening, everyone. Transformers, Australian Transformers Weekly, not Transformers.
I knew it.
I don't know. Australian Transformers. What did you know? Like
I knew you were gonna say off the shelf.
No, see, I didn't even go to say off the shelf. I just started saying Transformers. So like,
Transformers. Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair enough. TSCCA then.
Anyway, Australian Transformers Weekly is produced by Transformers Collectors Club Australia. You can find the website at transformerscca.com, and you can find the podcast on iTunes and a bunch of other related services which haven't been updated in the run sheet, so I'm not going to say them. Please head over to those services and give us a review, and do feel free to spread the word if you enjoyed listening to the podcast. And it seems that an increasing number of members in the group do, judging by comments that I get. Please do pass on the podcast to your friends.
The comments that I got, what was that? How many bloody washing machines do I have or something? People
One for the
bloody
week
listen
and
to
one
this
for
show?
Sunday best. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for listening, everyone. And we will return next week as Titans or as otherwise.
Lovely. All right. See you guys.
Bye. Adios.